It's the Expert's Corner, where we put an expert in your corner.
Welcome back to Austin's Talk Radio 1370, The Right Choice. You are listening to The Shift Economy with your hosts, Paul Harmon and Ricky Neer, who is not here today. This is the show dedicated to help you discover the ugly truths about outdated traditional thinking and, more importantly, show you how to thrive in a 21st century economy. During this segment, we're going to turn it over to our featured experts, Lucinda Datris, who's our luminary in my mind as far as both wellness and business, is going to take over. But before we do that, actually, Jean Carpenter-Backus had an announcement I believe you wanted to make.
Yes. Hello, Nisha. Damn it.
Nisha, I hope you're listening because we giggled out in the waiting area before. So, Nisha, damn it. This is Nisha, a big hello from everyone here at the Shift Economy. But before we were talking about about the new definition of retirement, and more importantly, what is the price that we had to pay? And I know, Lucinda, you've heard my personal story, which I won't go into today, but there's a heavy price I had to pay.
That's right, yeah. So the traditional way of making money and working our way into maturity and into stability and then over into retirement often took a huge toll on our health and wellness and just our mental well-being as well. So as I work with clients today in a new age and really in a new paradigm, that how important it is for them to be balancing their health and their wellness along with their career goals, along with their family goals, along with their financial goals, so that not one thing just gets their attention. If we're going to be living till 80, 90, 100 years old, we need a body to live in and take with us.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. And so everything becomes really important. When I work with clients, I give them sort of 3 keys. It's a filter that I give them to work with for every decision that they make, whether it is a decision about food or exercise or stress management or how they're going to manage their time. I want to know, is it one or more of these 3 things? Is it energizing? Does it give you energy right now that lasts for the next few hours or at least through the day? Is it vitalizing? Does it give you the stuff you need to live a long, healthy life? And is it pleasurable? So in my challenge to everyone is make sure that every decision that you make, or as many of those, have all 3. What if every decision we made gave us energy and vitality and pleasure? Is that possible? And the truth is that it is, but it's going to take some creativity and some rearranging of our lifestyles. And that can take some time, but it's worth it in the end. If it took 10 years from today and you were able to accomplish that, how would you live out the rest of your life?
What's really interesting, I am going to pipe in and say you have a very unique process in the way you walk people through that and figuring out how to do it, because I know that you've had a tremendous impact with me. Yeah. So, Lucinda, back to you.
Maybe just an additional point about what you made about not waiting for retirement is even from a health and wellness perspective, just that people be thinking long term about weaving all of those pieces of their life together, their work and their wellness and their stress management and their family obligations. And it's going to look different than what we did just 10 years ago. That is the shift. Is that it's going to look different, and to really be willing to embrace that. And what I've learned that takes is that you involve yourself in forward-thinking communities. So people that try and do it on their own are often not successful. They have an enlightened moment. They have an amazing breakthrough. But if they're not plugged into a group of people and mentors that can support them through the process, they very often don't get very far. And then they slide back into that old way of being with the longing of wishing that they were progressing along the way.
And you know what's interesting with your comment about a sense of community? This is exactly what we're trying to do and accomplish with a shift economy. There's an old cliche that unfortunately has a negative connotation, which pretty much goes like this. It says, misery loves company. Well, the opposite is also true. So like-minded people, and I think unfortunately it's a term that's being thrown around almost a little too much, where people have become somewhat, it almost sounds like white noise, if you will. But, if you have people that are bringing you down, you pretty much need to remove them from your life and go around people that are rebels, sort of like what we are. I'm sorry, Jean, you were going to say?
You typically have 4 people that you meet in your life. I hope I remember all 4 of them. The first one is a drifter, and they're the ones that kind of, oh, yeah, man, whatever. And then you have the surfer. You have the person who's looking for the next big idea, the next big wave. And then you have the third person who is a professional drowner. And we all know these people because they call you this week, they're drowning, and you help them. And then next week they call and they're drowning again.
Suck the life out of you.
That's right. That's right. And then the fourth person is a navigator, and they're the ones that have a fixed point. It's like the North Star of their life, and they would die on the mountain for their North Star. And the reason why this is important, especially with the shift happening, is in financial preparation. People do not prepare financially. And if they were prepared, they would create a foundation. And it doesn't matter whether the economy goes up or down, they are prepared.
And that kind of goes along with what you were saying earlier too, Lucinda. You know, we have another call on the line. Steve, are you with us? Steve?
Yes.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Very
Hi,
good.
Steve.
How y'all? Hey, got a quick question. I'm a kind of a serial networker. I go to a lot of events and see a lot of folks, and are constantly seeing all these different lotions and potions and all kinds of good things out there that can help you get energized and fill you up with good stuff. Is there anything out there that's of value there, or is it just good old physical health and drink water?
My opinion is that we cannot rely on anything outside of our own physical will and bodies and what we're willing to put into it to really take us to the next level as far as health and wellness goes. Your foundation for good health and wellness is absolutely exercise and the good, healthy food you put into it. That
Right.
is foundational first and foremost.
Okay.
If you would like to try a supplement, and there are some out there that are amazing, that there's a lot of really amazing science behind, then I would suggest that you try them one at a time and give them a real good go. And what I mean by that is that you do it for 3-6 months according to the specifications that you are given with that supplement, so that you know if it's working for you or not.
But 3 to 6 months, I have a problem with attention span, though.
Yeah, I know. Well,
if it doesn't work in 4 or 5 days, I'm done.
Right, and so this is like chronic
Yes.
American mentality. We want it
Yes.
now.
I am a chronic American. You got that right.
Yeah, and so I run into this with my clients over and over and over again. I can start walking them into a program. They get great results those first 2 weeks that they're super motivated, and then it falls off, and then they're looking for a new program. There was nothing wrong with the original program. So really around health and wellness, get your foundation in first. Make sure that you are working in, excellent nutrition and excellent fitness into your life. And then do your research. Try a highly recommended, highly scientific backed supplement or vitamin, whatever company you want to go with, and do exactly what they say for 6 to 9 months and assess where you are at that point.
And this is not a question for a commercial or anything, but are there any of the juices, because all the grocery stores are now starting to help, have like pomegranate juices and all those kind of juices. Are any of those juices that are just good to, like cranberry or all those kind of?
Anna, do you want to weigh in on this one?
I agree wholeheartedly with Lucinda. I see it every day. I mean, I'm with a health and wellness company, and people give up. They want everything to happen within a month. It's not going to happen
I do.
within a month. I mean,
Me too.
I do too.
I want to lose 50 pounds. 30
right
days
now,
ago.
right now.
Tomorrow.
Right, but it does take dedication. It's just, okay, it's just like any business. Being an entrepreneur, it takes persistence, right, and dedication, Steve. You know this very well.
Yes.
And so it's the same thing. Our health isn't something to be taken lightly. So if we think that our lives and our bodies are going to reach optimum health when it hasn't been for quite some time, in 3 months, it may not happen. And another thing that I find with the product that I offer is that people use it as a crutch. They start taking it, they start wearing it, and they don't do anything else. They didn't read the literature, or they did, and they listen to it. We say 3, 6, 9 months, like Lucinda said, really 6 to 9 months, really. And they don't follow the simple 16 keys, which is common sense, the stuff we learned in kindergarten. It's no different today. And so it really is dedication and persistence, and it's how badly you want it. Do you want to be here till you're 80 and 90? We need to start doing it today.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So as going back to the juice thing, juices from the grocery store that have a lot of sugar in them are never good for you. I just have to say that up front, that it is like drinking soda.
Okay.
So a juice from the grocery store might be appropriate if you were going to put it into a sauce and cook it down and just have a teaspoon or tablespoon on top of, say, grilled chicken or something wonderful like that. So a rule of thumb about all of that is eat your fruit, don't drink it. Eat your fruit, don't drink it.
Got it.
Yeah, we want all the good stuff in there. We want all the fiber and the pulp and stuff from the fruit when you eat it. So that really slows down its impact in your system.
Steve, that was a really great question, and I want to thank you for calling in, buddy.
Oh, you bet.
That was
you
a
bet.
good one.
You guys have a great time.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Well, listen, actually, that kind of brings up, I think, the next tier of where I kind of wanted to go with this, if you don't mind. And that is, all right, so we talked about wellness. We're talking about the shift as far as what's going on in the workplace. We're talking about finances and so forth. One of the things that a lot of folks are finding themselves in, and I've repeated this, and I will continue to repeat it with show after show, is that folks are finding themselves, whether they blame the economy or whatever, they're finding themselves now either being laid off, or the ones that are fortunate enough to be laid off and then rehired are being rehired as independent contractors, which basically means welcome to the wonderful world of entrepreneurism. So this kind of brings into play this whole new shift in consciousness, which is not this woo-woo thing that most people think about. It's a new awareness. So there's new opportunities. So going back to retirement, it may sound like I'm all over the place, but I'm not, because that really means you can now have the opportunity to start pursuing what you truly enjoy, and why not get paid for it? And at the same token, that means that retirement has become obsolete, because what you do in the old school thought of retirement is doing what you loved and you enjoyed. Why not start that now and earn a living while you're doing that at the same time? So, Anna, let me ask you something, because you have an interesting story to tell, not only how you made a decision in terms of pursuing the business that you now have, but you also have your husband who's got, and I love the name of the business, the Evil Wiener. And they bought a FedEx truck. And
he did.
It was really cool. I mean, it's like a world-class chef. But
he is.
I still need to be invited over for dinner,
Absolutely.
by the way.
Me too.
Yes, you're all invited.
But why don't you tell us about, what was going through your mind and, the decision-making process, your journey in terms of making that decision to become self-employed and dive into this?
Well, it kind of just happened, and I've always wanted to be self-employed. I've clocked in the past, but I've had my own business with my brother, and have just experienced every aspect of business, and kind of had a family and needed to be home. So I looked into direct sales and ended up there for 8 years, and now with network marketing. So I've been working successfully from home for over 12 years, and love every minute of it. The joy that it has brought is that I've had the time with my children. It also enabled me to bring my husband home from a crazy 70, 80-hour work week. He used to work in high-end food, and the money that I've made has not just supported us, but has also allowed him to go out and do something that's fun with food, and that brings us to the Evil Wiener. So network marketing is really just a platform. Some people will say, well, it's not my passion. I wouldn't be passionate about that. Well, my passion is, I have a lot of passions actually, but my family and making sure that they're taken care of. And I want my time that's spent working to, if I'm asleep, I'm making money. And that to me is smart business.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's residual income that I've been building. And I do have days, if we want to go for a drive, we do it. So to me, it's smart business. I want right now to create as much money as I can. And I've found that through network marketing. Also, if you're an accidental entrepreneur and you have absolutely no experience, network marketing is a great platform because there's a lot of training, there's a structure, there's a community, there's a support system in place that you can, dive into and know that you're not in it by yourself. And also, the startup is nominal. There's some that are as little as $200 to get started. $500, it's nothing. So
hold that thought, because actually it's time to take another quick
Sure.
short commercial break.